Let's determine the zeros of this function f of x equals minus 9 times of x minus 7 times of x plus 7 raised to the power of 3. So to determine the zeros, we have to replace f of x equals 0 and solve for x. So we put f of x equals 0. I'm going to replace f of x equals 0 in this function. So we get 0 equals negative 9 times of x minus 6 times of x plus 7 raised to the power of 3. We can divide by negative 9 on both sides. So 0 by negative 9, and this equals negative 9 over negative 9. We get x minus 6 times of x plus 7 raised to the power of 3. So 0 by negative 9 is once again 0, and negative 9 by negative 9, this equals 1. So it's basically 1 times of this expression, which is x minus 6 times of x plus 7 quantity cube. Now, one of them is 0, that is either x minus 6 is 0, or we will have x plus 7 quantity cube, this equals 0, because this is a product of two linear terms, so either one can be 0. When we solve this expression x minus 6 equals 0, we get x equal to 6. And similarly, we can solve this expression or the equation x plus 7 quantity cube equal to 0 by taking cube root on both sides. So when we do that, we get x plus 7 equals 0, because cube root of 0 is 0. Now we solve for x, that is x equal to negative 7. And since we are taking a cube root to solve this x, we will have a multiplicity of 3 for this negative 7. So we see that this is with multiplicity 3. So these are the zeros of this function. So we see that the zeros of this function are 6 and minus 7, and this minus 7 is with multiplicity 3. Let's choose the correct choice given below. The first choice is there is 1 0. So this is wrong, because we have two zeros here, that is 6 and negative 7. So this one is wrong. Now let's look at the option B, that is there are two zeros. Yes, we have two zeros, and the multiplicity of the largest 0. The 6 is the largest 0, because 6 is greater than negative 7, and negative 7 is the smallest 0. And we see that the multiplicity of 6 is, we just have only one 6. So we say that the multiplicity of the largest 0 is 1, and the multiplicity of the smallest 0, which is negative 7, is 3, which we have already determined. So we put 3 here. So this is the correct choice, and we have also determined the multiplicity of the largest and the smallest 0. We now determine the correct behavior of the function at each 0. So let's look at the first choice. The graph crosses the x-axis at all zeros. No, it is not, because here it crosses, that is at 0, 6, it crosses the x-axis, and at 7, which has a multiplicity of 3, it basically touches the x-axis. It touched the x-axis. Here it crosses the x-axis. So option A is not correct. Now let's look at the choice B. That is, the graph touches the x-axis and turns around at all zeros. No, because at 6 it crosses, and at 7, negative 7, it touches the x-axis. So it does not touches the x-axis at all zeros. This is also wrong. And finally, we have the choice C. This must be correct. Anyway, we will have a look at. The graph crosses the x-axis at x equal to. So we can see that it crosses at x equal to 6. So we write down 6 here, and touches the x-axis and turns around at x equal to negative 7. So we write down negative 7 here. So we choose option D as the correct behavior of the function at each 0.